Mohenjo-Daro is truly ancient. It was built a very long time ago. This happened around 4,500 years in the past. The city stood in what is now modern-day Pakistan. It remains an amazing feat for its distant era. It was one of the world's very first great urban centers. Many people lived their daily lives here. They worked and formed a community. It was a testament to early human ingenuity and vision. Imagine such a sophisticated place, existing so long ago. What makes Mohenjo-Daro so particularly special? It is justly famous for its brilliant urban planning. This settlement was not a random jumble of simple huts. The entire city was very carefully and thoughtfully designed. Its original builders clearly had a precise vision in mind. They considered how people would actually live and move. This intelligent design is genuinely remarkable for its age. It set a high standard for many centuries to follow. The streets were meticulously laid out. They formed a regular grid pattern. This is much like a modern city, almost astonishingly so. Main streets ran perfectly straight, oriented north to south. Other smaller streets then crossed them, running east to west. This clever arrangement created neat rectangular city blocks. Houses fitted tidily into these blocks. Other important buildings were organized within the grid. It was an orderly, exceptionally well-organized place to live. This level of precision is astounding for the Bronze Age. Then consider the truly sophisticated drainage system. It was quite incredible for its time, really. Covered drains ran neatly alongside most of the streets. These hidden channels effectively carried wastewater away from homes. Many, if not most houses had direct connections to these main drains. This system helped to keep the city notably clean and hygienic. Such advanced sanitation was practically unheard of elsewhere in that ancient world. It speaks volumes about their community priorities and skills. One of the most famous structures is the Great Bath. It is a large, impressive rectangular pool. This was expertly constructed from fine, waterproof baked bricks. Sets of wide steps led down into the cool water. What exactly was its primary purpose? Perhaps it was used for important ritual bathing, or for special religious ceremonies that cleansed the spirit. It might even have been a grand public swimming pool. It was clearly very important to the city's daily life, a definite focal point for the entire community. The private houses in Mohenjo-Daro were also surprisingly advanced. Many of these dwellings were solidly built with durable baked bricks. Some of the homes discovered were quite spacious indeed. They often contained several rooms for different activities. And remarkably, a great number of houses had their own bathrooms. Some even featured toilets that could be flushed with water. This clearly shows a great concern for personal hygiene. It suggests a comfortable and civilized standard of living for many. Large, imposing buildings identified as granaries stood within the city. These substantial structures were primarily used to store valuable grain. Important crops like wheat and barley were carefully kept here. This strongly suggests a well-organized and productive farming system. Food was evidently collected, stored safely, and perhaps centrally distributed. This careful management ensured the thriving city had enough to eat. It is a clear sign of a prosperous and well-run society. This resource management was vital for their long-term survival. Beyond the homes and the vital granaries, other structures hinted at a complex civic life. Archaeologists have found evidence of large halls. These might have been used for public meetings or assemblies. Courtyards and various open spaces also existed throughout the city. These suggest a community that often gathered together. They shared these public spaces for a variety of activities. The city was much more than just a collection of houses. It was a vibrant, dynamically functioning ancient society. Mohenjo-Daro was not an isolated marvel. It was a key part of a much larger world. This wider civilization is known as the Indus Valley Civilization. It flourished magnificently around the Great Indus River. This vast and influential area covered large parts of modern Pakistan, and it also extended into what is now northwestern India. It was undeniably one of the great ancient civilizations of the globe. Alongside mighty Egypt and powerful Mesopotamia, it shone very brightly indeed, a truly significant culture in the long story of human history. The people of the Indus Valley were exceptionally skilled craftspeople. They produced beautiful and distinctive pottery, often decorated with paint. They created wonderfully intricate jewelry from tiny beads and polished stones. They also expertly worked with various metals like copper and bronze. Crucially, standardized sets of weights and measures were widely used. This greatly helped in conducting trade, which was extensive. They managed to trade their valuable goods far and wide. Their fine craftsmanship was surely admired by many other cultures. But what about their rulers and system of governance? This remains a fascinating and enduring puzzle for us. We find no evidence of grand, opulent palaces for powerful kings. There are also no discoveries of monumental temples dedicated to specific gods. This is quite unlike contemporary Egypt or Mesopotamia, with their pharaohs and ziggurats. Their society seems to have been structured very differently. Perhaps real power was shared more equitably among the people. Or maybe their leaders simply lived more modestly than other rulers. It's a captivating aspect of their unique ancient culture. We are still learning so much. These intriguing people also had their own system of writing. We can see many examples of it on small carved stone seals. It also appears on pieces of pottery and other everyday objects. These seals often feature beautifully rendered animal figures like bulls or unicorns. And alongside these images, there is usually a short line of symbols. But frustratingly, we cannot yet read this mysterious script. It remains completely undeciphered to this day. This is truly one of the biggest mysteries surrounding them. What wonderful stories do these ancient symbols hold? We long to know their secrets. So why did the magnificent city of Mohenjo-Daro eventually decline? There are several compelling theories currently under discussion by experts. Climate change is considered a very strong possibility indeed. The regular patterns of the vital monsoons may have shifted over time. This would profoundly affect the success of their farming. Important rivers, such as the Gagar, also began to dry up. Life-giving water was, of course, absolutely essential for their survival. Less available water would have meant very big problems for everyone. The surrounding environment undoubtedly played a crucial role in their fate. The mighty Indus River itself could have been a significant culprit. It brought essential water for life, but also brought widespread destruction. Devastating and recurrent floods likely occurred over many years. These powerful floods could have damaged the city's infrastructure repeatedly. Rebuilding such a complex city would have been extremely difficult. Serious economic problems might well have followed these disasters. Perhaps crucial long-distance trade routes eventually shifted away from the region. This would inevitably weaken the city's prosperity and overall wealth. A combination of these factors perhaps led to its end. But what about the theory of a violent invasion? For a very long time, many people thought that fierce invaders destroyed these cities. The migrating Aryans were often named as those responsible. However, there is actually very little archaeological evidence to support this idea. Modern archaeologists find no clear signs of major, citywide battles. There are no definitive layers of widespread destruction resulting from organized warfare. Consequently, this old invasion theory is now largely rejected by most scholars. The city's decline now seems to have been a more gradual process. A great deal of Mohenjo-Daro still lies buried deep beneath the earth. Only a relatively small part of this vast city has been excavated. What amazing secrets still wait to be discovered under the sand and silt? The archaeological site is now a designated UNESCO World Heritage Site. This special status means it is recognized as globally important and is protected. Its final decline was almost certainly slow and complex, not sudden or singular. Its people likely moved away over generations. They spread out, subtly influencing later cultures and civilizations across India. Their remarkable legacy, therefore, lived on in many ways.